Hi, warriors. Welcome to day 2 of the recorded videos for yours, mine, and ours, money and our relationships, the financial challenge. So, I don't really consider it a challenge. I consider it just more of an awareness. But um, it's going to just give you some more insight into money behaviors and how those money behaviors can affect your relationships and even the relationship with yourself. So it's day 2 of the recorded. It's the actual third day. We had a recorded video on Monday. I hope you got to watch just to learn about how money affects our relationships. And on day 2, I hope you had the chance to take the poll just to kind of guess what money behavior you might have or what you may lean to, what's your predominant money behavior or your money script. And today I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into each of those money scripts. And again, I'll just recap for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, I'll put a link on the website how you can take the KMSI, which is the Klontz Money Script Inventory, and kind of see what your predominant money script is. Now, let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started watching the videos, or actually the PowerPoint. So, as I said, welcome to day 2, yours, mine, and ours. And just as we begin, be sure to get that paper and pen or open a Word document so that way, if there's anything that you want to really remember about this and take away from it, you might um, really want to write that down. Uh, Keep in mind as we go through each of these money scripts, um, everyone will score differently, and there's no right or wrong money script. Those are your internal beliefs about money. There can be a problem if if any of us, any individuals have um, an imbalance in their money script, or one that, as the Clances like to say, suffer from a money script. I don't particularly like that wording, but maybe, in other words, you may be too focused on being highly vigilant. There may be an extreme money avoider, either yourself or someone else, or money status is your main priority, or worship of money is the primary inner belief. So, again, those money scripts that were coined and developed by Brad and Ted Klontz, the financial psychologist, are money avoiders, money status, money vigilant, and money worship. So let's dive deeper into those. So, money worshipers. So, money worshipers believe that the key to happiness and the solution to their problems is to have more money. Well, okay, don't we all want to have more money? But at the same time, they believe that one can never have enough money and find that the pursuit of money never quite satisfies them. So maybe they work constantly. Maybe they're always looking for that um, more income, more income. Money worshipers are prone to buying things in an attempt to achieve their own happiness. The higher someone scores on money worship, the more likely they are to have a lower net worth and carry some credit card debt. This is not always true, but there have been numerous, and I say again, numerous studies done um, by not only the Clances, but other individuals academically showing how these values, these money styles can be defined in these ways. So, as I said, there's also those money worshipers are also more likely to put work ahead of family and give or loan money to others, even though they can afford to do that. Money worshipers tend to have a lower net worth. That doesn't really make sense if you're worshiping money, but it's about achieving the happiness and knowing that money is important to them. They also want to achieve happiness through the pursuit of buying things. And so that item can satisfy them. So let's go a little deeper into money avoiders. So money avoiders generally believe that money is bad. So does that mean you think you shouldn't have any money? Well, that underlying belief, whatever happened to you in childhood, that money flashpoint or those influences you had, whether it is the type of family you grew up in, or perhaps it was things you were told. So they believe that money is bad. They also believe that they just don't deserve that money. So because they believe that, they tend to think that they shouldn't have money saved. Perhaps they had situations where they heard that other individuals or family members told them, well, so and so is just no good because they have so much money. So they began to believe that money was bad. So this is kind of takes some deeper insight into what you heard as a child. They also can believe that those um, because of their negative associations with money and the wealthy, they can sabotage their own financial success and or give money in a way in a unconscious effort to stay at a comfortable socioeconomic level. So they may start to build up money and it's very uncomfortable to have something in savings because they're hearing those old scripts they learned from childhood. An interesting fact is individuals in the helping professions, such as psychologists and social workers, have a tendency to score higher in the area of money avoidance than those in other professions, such as business or financial advising. So I'm not trying to earmark my friends that are social workers or psychologists or counselors. I'm just saying this is studies have shown this. And each person is going to be different. This is not always the case. That's why it's just not always the case that people who are accountants or financial advisors are money vigilant. They could also be money avoiders. These are the usual standard, but as we know with anything in life, there is always variations from that. Research has also found that money avoiders try not to think about money. They ignore financial statements. Sometimes they overspend. They can enable others financially. They have difficulty managing a budget, and even some of them can have difficulty managing an occupation. Again, some characteristics of that. It's not everyone who is a money avoider. And you may have just a little bit of that characteristic. But as long as it's just a little bit, it doesn't create a problem. It's a larger amount when you score higher in that area to see if you actually have an imbalance in this money script. So I hope this is all beginning to make a little bit more sense. So let's go on to the next one. Money status. Money status seekers tend to link their self-worth with their net worth. So we talked about money worshipers having a, uh, what did I say now? They said have a lower net worth and they carry credit card debt. So these money status, they feel if their net worth isn't high enough, their self worth is not high enough. Many have grown up, again, this is just many, this is not always the case, have grown up in a lower socioeconomic environment and are a household that prioritize the financial aspects of social standing. So lower socioeconomic or higher, again, depending on how those outward influences affected you as an individual. Your siblings, it may have affected differently. You could have an individual for the siblings from the same family, same socioeconomic area, but perhaps the parents' financial situation changed during one child's upbringing. Perhaps they were exposed to something from an extended family. So we're generally, most siblings are in the same money script. Sometimes it can be different. Those individuals who score higher in money status scale are more likely to overspend, gamble excessively, be financially dependent on others, and hide expenditures from their spouses. Again, the key word is are more likely to. That's not always the case. Think about if you might have just some of the characteristics, or maybe a lot of the characteristics of this money behavior or any of the money behaviors. So again, we are not just assigned to one money behavior. We may have a few of the characteristics of each of them. Money status individuals may prioritize outward displays of wealth and as a result can be at risk of overspending. So they may need to have the latest gadgets. They may need to have uh, the brand name clothes, the brand name products. Many money status individuals believe that if they live a virtuous life, the universe will take care of their financial needs. And so that's why many times they may be financially dependent upon others because they feel like it's okay. And it's kind of almost a dichotomy is how can you be financially dependent but yet link your self-worth to your net worth? So that's where you can get into trouble because if you know your net worth is not good or it's lower, then you begin to doubt your own self-worth and then you can become financially dependent on others. So it's breaking that cycle. Again, this is all awareness for all of us to break that cycle, that relationship with ourselves, that money script that is not helping us in our own lives and in the lives of any of our relationships. So, last but not least, money vigilance. The money vigilant are alert, watchful, and concerned about their financial health. The money vigilant are less likely to buy on credit. They have a tendency to be discreet about their financial status with others. However, they are less likely to keep financial secrets from their partners. They're more likely to want to have money discussions. Now, if you have a money vigilant, as one spouse and a money avoider as another, can you imagine the conflict that you could have? One wants to talk about it all the time, and one just doesn't want to deal with it. So, how do you come to that? So, we'll talk about that on the last day. How do you come together with two different money styles or scripts? Um, Money vigilance encourage saving and frugality. So, are any of you identifying with this? Most money vigilance believe it is important to save and for people to work for their money and not be given financial handouts. Boy, they sound pretty rigid, don't they? And they can be, and they can be rigid with themselves. And so, yes, it's a good virtue to be watchful, concerned about your financial health. It almost feels like, wow, if I could, we could all do this. However, the money vigilant have a tendency to be a little bit anxious and maybe even highly anxious about their financial futures. Inspi- and that will, of course, inspire them to save, but it can also increase what I like to call just frugal fatigue, just being overwhelmed and drained from being so frugal. Um, it can lead to excess worry or anxiety from keeping them from enjoying life and just the day. So that's where it's really important to know if you may have some of the characteristics, but if you have more characteristics and tend to score higher in this area, you need to look at how you can rewrite your money script. And that's what we'll be talking about on Friday. So, how do we learn about our money script? As I mentioned in day one, there's the Klontz Money Script Inventory. There are two, I mean, not two, 32 statements. So, you will indicate how you identify with the statements. You're going to strongly disagree, disagree, disagree a little, agree, or strongly agree. That Likert scale. So, look for the post tomorrow on Thursday for the money script inventory, the KMSI. Once you mark your answers, you will be able to score yourself, determine your score, and where you fall in each category, where you fall in avoidance, status, vigilant, and worship. You may already be identifying yourself. Maybe you already guessed yourself right. So, a little bit more about the scores. It'll be a scale interpretation. That's the exact title of it on this KMSI. Your score will suggest that you either do not exhibit the script or have a problem with that particular behavior. So that means the avoidance, the worship, the status, the vigilant, you don't have any of the script or even have a problem with that behavior. Or the score will show you that you exhibit some characteristics of the money script or behavior, or at risk for developing that money script or behavior. Or lastly, the score can show that you have an imbalance in your financial life from money script or behavior, or as the Klontzes like to call it, you suffer from that money script behavior. And I don't like to identify with that suffering, but check back again on Thursday, tomorrow. We're going to have the KMSI posted plus your scale interpretation. And on Friday, we're going to be live at 11 a.m. when I will reveal my scores. And we can also talk about ways to help you if you scored higher in one area. Perhaps you're at risk for developing a money script or behavior, or you're suffering from a money script or behavior, and how we can use that to help just increase our own awareness rewrite that script so we have a healthier money script, and then also help others understand their money script. Thank you for joining me today. Be sure and look for the KMSI inventory tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing everyone on Friday at 11 live.